What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, and I just, I just want to speak some French right now. It goes, oui, oui, Motor City Kitties are back up in the city. You already know what it is, the Motor City Cats. We back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We are on the cusp of the NFL draft. We only have 2 days remaining. And hopefully you guys will be here with me uh during the draft. I still have to confirm um if I'll be making any appearances um, with Derek. I actually just need to talk to him about it. I've been busy. He's been busy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Um, but yeah, the NFL draft is coming. The trade rumors are swirling. The speculation is speculating. The percolation is percolating. We need to address a few things today. Um, Obviously, you see the thumbnail. You see cashing in with a K because my girl Cash Doll. You know what I'm talking about? My girl Cash Doll has been putting in the work. She's been doing what she got to do to get the job done. Cash Doll has heard our calls. Cash Doll has heard our cries. But Cash Doll's from Detroit. I don't even know if we were the ones calling for it and clamoring for it. And then she reached out and she saw it on social media. So no, I think she's from Detroit. She knows the Lions. She knew Zadarius Smith played for the Lions. Now she didn't do what I told her to do and ask him to marry her. She didn't do that. She didn't go that far. But we do see that Cash Doll is publicly politicking, making public pleas to one Zadarius Smith to stay in Detroit. Now, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, I do have it here for you, and I will go ahead and play it up. So let me pull this. Let me pull this up right quick. Let's see here. Let's see if it's where it is, or do I have to? Alrighty, let me see here. Let me see. What up, though, to the people in the chat? I will get to y'all in a second. All right. All right, let me see. All right. And we're gonna get to some of this JMO stuff because it's really getting out of hand, bro. Um okay, I got it. I gotta pull it up from somewhere else. I sent it to myself. So a lot of times I will send these things to myself to make sure that I have them. Because sometimes they just disappear. All right, let me see. Let me see. Uh, Let me see. Let me see. All right, here it is. I actually didn't send it to myself. I thought I did, but I didn't. Anyway, I'll explain to you what's happening in the video. So, what up, though, Mr. Detroit City? What up, though, Tactical Sport? What up, though, Mary Smith? Um, so basically, what's happening in the video? They are coming out of, I believe, the Detroit Pistons game. Um, yeah, this was from the game where you saw them on the jumbotron and everything, right? So Zadarius Smith posted on his Instagram, and Cash Doll was like, "Oh my God, Zadarius Smith, come back to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions loves Zadarius Smith." And then they're walking by somebody. He's like, "Yeah, we love you," right? And then he comes in at the end. He's like, "You gonna help pay my salary?" That's what happened. Okay, that's what happened in the video. So obviously, Cash Doll is over there working her mojo, trying to make sure that Zadarius Smith comes back to the Detroit Lions. Zadarius Smith, it would shock me if Zadarius does not go to the game on Thursday. As we know, the game starts at 7, the draft starts at 8. I mean, the draft's in Green Bay. It's not like he's got to be at the draft. It's not like he's signed with the Detroit Lions yet, but I do believe my speculation is that he will re-sign with the Detroit Lions after the NFL draft. Now, that is going to be bolstered um, if Brad Holmes does not get a pass rusher in the first round. Now, if Brad Holmes doesn't get a pass rusher in the first round, someone on the line, the defensive line, whether it be a defensive tackle, whether it be an edge rusher, then that begs the question as to what are we going to do if he gets one in the second round, okay, or the third round. Then we do have them for the next 4 years, but obviously you want that extra year, that fifth year option, which only comes in the first round. So the question then becomes, well, will we be going down this road again in 4 years, or will we somehow get a pass rusher? Because Zadarius Smith really is going to be a 1-2 year rotational piece. Um, he's not going to be. He could be the starter opposite Aiden Hutchinson, right? You want him to be the starter opposite Aiden Hutchinson. You want whatever rookie that you draft to come in here and learn from a Zadarius Smith and a Marcus Davenport. Okay, again, I did say I don't hate Marcus Davenport. Okay, I'm not a proponent for getting rid of Marcus Davenport. I don't hate the fact that he's on the team. None of that stuff. I love Marcus Davenport. It's just that he can't stay healthy, and that's what I say all the time. I'm not rooting against Marcus Davenport. I'm rooting for Marcus Davenport. I actually would like to see him get all of his money. Okay. This is like the Stephen A. Smith, the bum ticker. You know what I'm saying? He's a great husband. He's a great father. He's a philanthropist. He's great in the community. He's this, he's that. He's an actor. He's a singer. He's a dancer. You know what I'm saying? He's a violent man. He's 6'6, 260. He's a bad man. You don't want to see him coming across your face because he's just trying to smash you in the face and get to the quarterback. That is Marcus Davenport. And I hope that he does all of those things and does all of those things in every single game and all the way through the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, all that. I hope. But hoping and wishing ain't how you make meals in the kitchen. Okay? You got to get in there and you got to cook. You feel me? Um, Oh my goodness. Here come tactical. Big Wolf status. I knew JMO was on the block. Okay. Here we go with the Jameson Williams stuff. Okay. So apparently Jameson Williams has unfollowed the Detroit Lions. He came out with the what did he say? Loyalty before any and everything, um, stay sucker free, and some other things that he said. Uh, Now, he also recently liked a tweet about the Detroit Lions' new locker room. We don't know if he was actually following the Detroit Lions. Sometimes people aren't following the team that they're on social media. Um, If have they had conversations with JMO about trading him? Did they let him know that they were going to trade him? Okay. Here's the thing. So if he's going loyalty over any and everything, if they came to him and said, you know what, when draft night comes, we're gonna trade you. We've got, yada yada yada. Don't you think that would be loyal to the player? I mean, not loyal in the sense that they were going to keep him around, but loyal in the sense where he's not waking up on draft night and going to a draft party at Amon-Ra St. Brown's house and gets traded in the middle of the of the party, and he's like, a sugar cookie, man. This is crazy, right? He's not looking around like, what just happened? I got blindsided. Okay, so that's number one. If I'm a player on a team and I'm gonna get traded, even though I don't want to get traded, I love the team, I love the city, I love my teammates. I would have more respect for a front office, for a general manager, for a head coach that contact me and let me know that they're going to trade me beforehand. So I have some time to process it, and we can have a conversation beforehand, and I am not blindsided by the fact that I am around my teammates and I'm having a great time and I got traded. Is that not going to be awkward? Right? Is that not going to suck all of the air out of the room? Is Amon-Ra St. Brown not going to send everybody over and say send everybody home and say the party's over, get out? Right? Now, Big Wolf status. What you're saying now about it just being business doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now, I don't know Big Wolf status if you are a fan of JMO, if you're not a fan of JMO, but it doesn't make any sense, and here's why. Jameson Williams will cost us $5.4 million next season. Jameson Williams has a fifth-year option that Brad Holmes has stated that it looked like he was going to pick it up. So at what point in time do you get in this NFL, in this economy, at what point in time do you get 1,000+ yard receiver, maybe the best deep threat in the league? Who are you putting over him as a deep threat? Okay? And you're getting him for $15 million. For the next 2 seasons, you are getting him for $20 million. Right? Because he's going to cost you 5.4 next year, this year coming, and he's going to cost you $15 million for his fifth-year option. So in what world, if you just want to average it out, in what world are you getting 1,000-yard receiver for 2 years, $10 million per? That's my question. If anybody can answer that question logically, I'm here for it. I'd like to hear it. Mr. Detroit City says, why are we talking about JMO again? Because apparently he unfollowed the Detroit Lions and he put out some messages on his Instagram story like loyalty before any and everything, stay sucker free, with burning hearts and all this other stuff. So this is why the speculation is just ramping up, right? But oftentimes what happens with these stories is they're like, what do you call it? In like a lion and out like a lamb, right? So when he doesn't get traded on draft night, then everyone who thought that he would get traded this offseason will be looking silly. Now, if he does get traded on draft night, I don't think that's intelligent. Because how are you replacing that piece in your roster? How are you replacing Jameson Williams? Are you replacing Jameson Williams with a freaking rookie? And this is the conversation that we've had before. Who is Matthew Golden in the NFL? Can anybody tell me who Matthew Golden is in the NFL? Who cares if he stays or goes? I trust the system over any one player. Okay. So now my question is, what is a system that trades fantastic players for nothing? Because what do you think the value is of Jameson Williams? Maybe a third round pick. That's fine, but you got to keep the players that are good. So let me take you back, Mr. Detroit City. When they got here and they drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, who were the other receivers on this team? Y'all acting like J-Mo's Jerry Rice, so what's going to happen if he gets suspended again? Crickets, I mean, he had a 1,000-yard season. Okay, so we're going to have this conversation. Y'all aren't J-Mo fans. That's great. I am the official keeper of the J-Mo. What if we get Garrett included in that deal? Garrett who? Myles Garrett? We're not getting, if you're going to get a player of better value than Jameson Williams, because I can see that got two people in here that are looking for failure out of Jameson Williams. And that's fine. But the point is this. Y'all acting like Jameson Williams is Jerry Rice, and then you start the fire and you hide your hands. Who are you getting that's better than Jameson Williams in this trade? Because I hear a lot of bluster. I just want to know, who are you getting that's better than J-Mo in this trade? If you're trading J-Mo on draft night, give me a realistic scenario where you're making your team better by trading one of your best offensive pieces. It's not about the team being bigger than one person. This is the thing. And the question I asked before, what is the haste? What is the haste? Why are you trading Jameson Williams 2 days from now when you have him under contract for 2 more years? Why are you trading him? This is the thing. So for the people that want to see this happen, give me a logical explanation as to why you are trading Jameson 2 days from now instead of 2 years from now. Or even a year from now, if you say, okay, well, I don't want to go into the 5th year and have him there. Ain't this offense great when okay, that's fine. Does he give you a better opportunity to be a better offense to win a Super Bowl, or does he hinder your offense? And this is why I said, answer the question. When they drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, who were the other receivers? And here's the thing. We're in the cycle now of needing a pass rusher. When Jared Goff got here, and for a couple years, when his first couple years here, we needed a deep threat. We needed someone to take the top off of a defense so that we could open up this offense. We were great without J-Mo. We were historical with J-Mo. So do you want to be great or historical? And you want to be great with trading someone before you need to move on from them. So you trust the organization to make strong decisions. That's great. I 100%, I trust them to make strong decisions too. But here's the thing. Trading a player who you have under contract for 2 more years to get what? That's the question. If you can answer that question, then I will concede that you are correct. Marvin's World says, just keeping hope alive. We're taking the ball away from Goff some. Gibbs can replace JMO if necessary. We got the best RBs. But who are you getting that's better than JMO right now? This is my question. If you are trading him so that you can get a rookie right now without needing to do so, why does that make sense? Who in this draft is such a can't miss prospect that you are if you don't trade JMO right now, you're not going to be able to get that player realistically, right? Because I've done the work on the draft, I've done the work on the players, I've done the work all this offseason. So that's my question. Realistically, who are you getting that is going to make your team so much better than just having him under contract for 2 more years and allowing him to go out there and get 1,300 yards plus this coming season? Who? That's my question. Answer that one. Mr. Detroit City, this is the news cycle. Jameson is the biggest thing until Thursday. Okay. All right. So let's see. It says it goes the same for Goff. Anybody, for some reason, Lions fans feel like they are being attacked when JMO is mentioned anytime other than praising him. No, we don't. It's about the way that we're reacting. Okay. My question is the same thing for Goff. Who are you replacing him with? You don't remove players just to remove players. You need to get somebody better. This is the point. So this trade scale is going to go up or down in 2 years after being suspended some more games. What are we even talking about? All you're talking about is suspensions. He missed 2 games last year. The gambling suspension was so dumb that the NFL moved it from 6 games to 2 games after he had already missed 4 games. Yes, we can get other guys, but they will never be JMO. And who's to say they are going to be good? Hard work comes from growth. Thank you. Mr. Detroit City, this is what I'm asking you. Who are you getting? That's the point. Who are you getting? Nah. What? Thielen? Okay. All right, I'm done. You said Thielen? What up, though, Zach J? Big Bull status. So what? He didn't get charged. The gun was legal. And he's since gotten the permit. It was a registered weapon. Why y'all are acting like he's freaking, out here killing people or something, bro? We really don't have to replace him. We can have 2 okay. So here's my point. When you don't have a deep threat, those 2 RBs have less space because you're not able to stretch the field. You're not able to take the top off of the defense so people can come down in the box. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs, instead of facing a 6-man box, will be facing an 8-man box, and he will have less room to operate. This is the point. All right, bye, Mr. Detroit City. And if he gets suspended again, then you pay him less and tell him why he is getting paid less. All right. Zach J says, oh, must be talking about JMO. Yes. Big Wolfstad says, whose gun was it? It was his gun. He told the police it was his gun. You know why he told the police it was his gun? Because it was registered. That's why he told the police it was his gun. I don't understand what we're talking about. It was a gun in a car. There wasn't no serial number scratched off. It wasn't no attempts to conceal nothing. He told the police that he had the gun in the car. He has since gotten a concealed carry permit because the gun was not illegal. This is why he did not get arrested. All right, man. I mean, if you don't want him on the team, you don't want him on the team. But I don't want anybody crying if he gets traded and then we don't have someone to stretch the field, thus making our offense better. That we need somebody. I don't want to hear none of that. I want y'all to keep the same energy, okay? Because this is what I'm trying to tell you. We are in cycles with this team. We are now in the cycle where we need a pass rusher because the people outside of Aiden Hutchinson got you 10 sacks for the entire season. So we need a pass rusher. Okay? Before J-Mo got here, we were crying about not having a deep threat receiver that could stretch the field. We were crying about not having any speed on our wide receiver core. Now we have it. Now we want to get rid of it. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade him just because Brad is probably looking at the guys he wants to pay and doesn't want to pay J-Mo $30 million. That's fine. That's all good. But my question is, no one is answering my question. Why does he need to be traded this year? Why does he need to be traded in 2 days? That's my question. No, he doesn't. His trade value is not great right now. His trade value would go. You take him out next season and you get him 1,300 yards plus. Okay, and he has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Guess what? His trade value is much higher at that point. The offense will look different, so they don't need him. What did Big Wolf status? What did your new offensive coordinator say about the big play? If you can tell me exactly what he said about the big play, I'd like to hear it. If he gets traded right now, it has to be for defensive purposes. Okay. And I'm telling you, if he gets traded and the name is somebody on the edge, okay, I understand the move. If you don't want to pay him, keep him for the next year, let him ball out, then ask for a king's ransom for him. Thank you. This is my point. No, Big Wolf status. Your new offensive coordinator said the big play is back. He came here, he praised J-Mo, and he told you that he wants big plays. That's his thing. So you take your biggest big play threat and you remove him from your offensive coordinator who just told you he wants big plays. He wants to take shots down the field. Who are you taking shots down the field with on your roster right now? Kalif Raymond. If you remove Jameson Williams, your biggest deep threat will be Kalif Raymond. Is Kalif Raymond better than Jameson Williams? Is he comparable to Jameson Williams? Will he do the same job that Jameson Williams will do? He will not. Y'all are trying to go back to the days of Brashad Perryman and Tyrell Williams and freaking, Kenny Galladay's drunk ass. Like, what are we talking about here? You don't hire a new offensive coordinator who comes in talking about big plays and then you take his biggest big play threat away. Again, you're talking about rookies who we don't know what they will do in the league. This is my point, and that's what it all boils down to. What is the point of trading him this year? His value to be traded will be much higher next year if you're going to trade him at all. They're going to trade him for a third and a fifth, draft Golden in the first, restart the rookie contract, then take the 2/3 and get another second round pick. Why would you burn your first round pick on a freaking rookie wide receiver when you really need a pass rusher? No, Big Wolf says, I don't know, but I'm talking about what makes sense. We're talking about what makes sense. You need pass rush. Listen, hello, you play to win the game. We've got, if y'all were on Twitter and y'all saw Dove Kleiman, he tweeted out the Mount Rushmore of current quarterbacks. And he had Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. We got 3 of those dudes this year. We had Josh Allen last year. We got Jordan Love coming in here twice a year. We got Caleb Williams coming in here twice a year. Caleb Williams is only going to get better. Nobody ever said J-Mo's Jerry Rice. Nobody said that. But if you want to twist my words, go ahead, twist them. Nobody said that. I never said J-Mo was Jerry Rice. I said in this offense, he is your big play threat. You cannot coach speed. This is why the Kansas City Chiefs traded up to get Xavier Worthy. Because he was the piece of their offense that they didn't have. Zach J says, nah, we have Davenport. Okay, thank you. Okay. Like people come in and then they get mad and leave when I'm asking for the point. The point is, why are you trading him right now? And if no one has answered this question for me, what is the value in trading Jameson Williams right now? If you are trading Jameson Williams for a rookie wide receiver, why would you do that? Just answer it. You know? Why more wide receiver? But we're talking about rookies. We're talking about rookies. And we're not talking about can't miss prospects here. Okay? If you're trading Jameson Williams for a 3rd round pick and then you're moving up in the 1st round so that you can draft a wide receiver, how does that make sense? Now, if you draft Matthew Golden and Matthew Golden comes in here and he balls out, that's great. That's a risk. That's a gamble. And you don't have to take that gamble or that risk because you got J-Mo under contract for 2 more years. If you don't want J-Mo, it doesn't make sense to trade him this season. You will not get a first for him at this point. Pick up the 5th year. Let him ball out, then trade him for a first next year. That's my point. His value only goes up if you keep him on the team. And he balls out because he is the number 2 overall receiver on this team. And he is the big play threat that Johnny Morton wants. Marvin's World says you want to trade him for another wide receiver? That's crazy, LOL. They were going to draft a wide receiver anyway, right? It's 3 good wide receivers they could get to. What are you going to say when he gets suspended again? I don't expect him to get suspended again. Like, so here's the thing. You have to examine, what is Brad Holmes, what is Dan Campbell saying about Jameson Williams? What does what does his head coach say about him? Is he tripping over these little suspensions or whatever? Is he telling you how much he's grown? Is he telling you how much he's matured? Right? Is he telling you how much he loves the kid? Because those are the things that Dan Campbell is saying about Jameson Williams. He's not telling you he's a locker room cancer because all of his teammates love him. Like, he was the one getting Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch and those boys out in the freaking community, giving away the Thanksgiving turkeys and giving away coats and, to the kids. And he's been in the city. So, I mean, he got suspended twice for a total of 4 games. Why was it a total of 4 games? Because the NFL redacted his suspension. And we don't know, but they probably gave him the 2 game checks after they retroactively removed 4 games from his 6 game suspension. They said that about a lot of places. So again, what are you going to do when he gets suspended again? If he gets suspended again, then we'll come to that bridge when he crosses it. But then that's again, if everyone has the same thought process about JMO as you do, what do you think his value is? You're telling me right now that he doesn't have any value because everyone is worried about him getting suspended again. So who's trading for him? If I'm a GM, I'm not trading for him because I'm just so worried about him getting suspended again. He's such a knucklehead. He's such a criminal that once he gets suspended again, then I'm going to be out of my trade capital, whatever I traded him for, whether I traded him for draft picks, whether I traded another player for him. I'm the one that's going to lose that trade because he's unreliable and he can't be trusted and he's immature and he's a knucklehead. So why would anybody else trade for him then? Then that becomes the question. Tactical Spork says it's a win for you if he gets suspended again. You get to pay him less, and it's warranted to pay him less. I don't understand. So no deep threat and no suspension. Okay, I got it. If you don't have a deep threat, this offense doesn't live up to its potential. If somebody tells me you can have a great team, you can have a great offense, or you can have a historical offense, I'm going to take the historical offense all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Now, if you tell me you can have a great offense or you can have a historical offense, but it's going to be a $30 million difference per year, then that's a conversation that you have. But while it's $5 million and it's a $15 million way below market value, I don't understand why you don't just go and have a historical offense. That's my point. There's always, whenever you remove a player from your team, you must replace that player with someone else. Why are you hung up on the suspensions? That's my thing. Why are you hung up on the suspensions? He missed 2 games last season and had 1,000 yards. This is it, and this was part of the historical offense. He missed 2 games and had 1,000 yards. If anybody misses 2 games in a year, no matter what the reason, that's expected. Why is it going to keep happening? Has he gotten suspended for the same thing ever? Do you know what his gambling suspension was for? Kane Press says she's sad about J-Mo. Well, if you're in this chat, you're gonna be even sadder. Mary Smith says J-Mo ain't going anywhere. He's going to be a Lion until at least 2 years. That's what we're trying to say. That's what we're trying to say. But that's my question. Has he been suspended for anything twice? Do you know what the gambling suspension was for? He was at a team hotel and he logged into an online casino. And many players have come out since then, right? Because a couple players got suspended for entire years. And they even brought back, what was that dude's name? CJ, the special teams dude who got suspended for the entire year. They brought him back. And he definitely was supposed to know better. And I think he gambled on football. KA Press. So they brought him back and he gambled on football. Right? He didn't make it through training camp. They cut him, but they brought him back. And we're talking about a guy that got suspended for playing an online casino because he was on team Wi-Fi or he was at a team hotel. We're talking about a guy that got suspended because of something with the doctor not getting the prescription in on time. That's all I'm saying. Holmes said wide receivers are expensive, and that is my point. He said wide receivers are expensive. So you have him this year for $5.4 million against your cap, and you pick up his 5th-year option, and you're paying him $15 million, which is much less than any wide receiver of that value is currently getting. Yes, wide receivers are getting 20, 30 million right now. So if you're paying a guy 20 million over the next 2 years, that is a steal. And he can help you win right now. He has chemistry with your quarterback right now. He has chemistry within your offense right now. Your offensive coordinator has worked with him before. Remember, Johnny Morton was here when they made this offense, and he contributed elements to the offense that they already have. The draft comes on at 8 o'clock. And I will be right up against it. Cause I got a haircut at 9. So I gotta make sure my barber gets done in 30 minutes so I can get home. Haas is 42. What up, though? So yes, that, to answer your question, yes, Brad Holmes said there was, like, when I talk about it, I'm just talking about it from an informed. I'm not just talking out my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just pulling things out, bro. Like, I pause. It's like I'm just applying logic to the situation. If you're gonna trade for a wide receiver who's a rookie, who you don't know what he's gonna do in the league, okay, that's feast or famine. You know what J-Mill's gonna do. You know J-Mo's just going to continue to get better. He's going to continue putting in the work. He's done all the maturing. He's continuing to mature, right? And he's had a few missteps along the way, but it was nothing major. It's not like he went out and killing people. It's not like he was getting DUIs. It's not like he was getting domestic violence arrests and things of this nature. You know, it's not like he's Jalen Carter, where he gets involved in a situation where two people get killed because they are racing, two people lose their lives, and then he lies to the police after leaving the scene. It's not even close to any of these things. It wouldn't be smart to trade him now because his value is not as good as it will be when he goes out and has a huge season next year, or this next season. That's when you trade for. That's when you trade him. When his value is high. Yes, he's coming off of a 1,000-yard season when he missed 2 games due to suspension. He's coming off of his first 1,000-yard season, his first complete season in his 3 seasons. So when people say, well, we need to see more, or yeah, we'll give you a 3rd rounder for him right now, and you traded up to get him number 12 overall, wouldn't you want to wait a year so that his value would go up? Even if it goes up to a 2nd rounder, even if it never reaches a 1st, if his value right now was a 3rd rounder, you want to get a 2nd rounder for him. And you know that you'll get it for him because of the season that he's projected to have this coming season. You know you'll get a 2nd or 1st if you didn't wait to trade him next offseason. Mary Smith says just haters on JMO, and although they're wishing he gets traded so they can try and grab him. Oh, so they're outside agents. Big Wolf status, you being called a Lions hater, man. I didn't do it. The members of the chat did it. But his value's got to go up. That's my point. His value is not high right now. And for people that are saying, well, we trust the organization to do this, that, and the third thing. Again, who was on your defensive line last season? Even before everybody got hurt, your rotation was going to be Hutch, Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, and Marcus Davenport. You were banking on Marcus Davenport to return to the form where he played 11 games and he got 9 sacks. Okay? That was you banking on that. So let's say that he did do that. Okay? And let's say Hutch went for 20 sacks last season as he was on pace to do. And then let's say Marcus Davenport gave you 9 sacks. That's 29 sacks. Now let's say Aleem McNeil matched his career high of 5 sacks. And DJ Reader gave you 8 sacks. What is that? 37? At the top of the league, you had 63. So this is my point. This is the point where, okay, if you trade JMO and then you use your 1st round pick to draft a wide receiver instead of someone who can help you on that defensive line. Again, we've got Patrick Mahomes, we've got Lamar Jackson, we've got Jalen Hurts coming in here that we've got to deal with this season, on top of Jordan Love twice, Caleb Williams twice. To remove yourself from the edge rusher, the sandbacker, whatever, who can immediately help with what you got to deal with this season, so that you can move on from a wide receiver and then draft another one, is ridiculous. Big Wolf status. I think K ain't pressed is calling you a Bears fan. He said, LML, gonna be crickets in here, just watch, but okay. And listen, if they trade JMO and do what I'm saying, then I will be in here telling you how stupid it is. And how now Brad Holmes is gonna be on the hot seat. Caleb Williams, I think, is going to get better. Right? And even if he doesn't get better, he's still elusive. And had Zadarius Smith not saved our bacon, we could have lost to them on Thanksgiving. Because Zadarius Smith got in there and got that last sack. And then Matt Eberflus did whatever the hell he did. Didn't call timeout and all this stuff. Okay? But the sack was the thing that started that victory for us. And that's why we need people on the defensive line. Brad Holmes is not on the hot seat. The thing that I want Brad Holmes to do, and I gave you the numbers, is get a pass rusher. That's all. Because we have Jameson. I mean, we have Jameson. We have Aiden Hutchinson, and who else? Don't say Marcus Davenport. We have Aiden Hutchinson, and who else? Marcus Davenport is not allowed to be talked about until Marcus Davenport proves that he's healthy. And as I started off by saying, I want Marcus Davenport to be healthy. I want him to get all of that $4.75 million that he's incentivized to get. Yeah, but I'm saying that he's not on my hot seat. I'm just asking him to get a pass rusher. Maybe even two. Right? I saw something very, very, very interesting. And I meant to get to this point earlier. But I was watching the heavy, shout out Easy, shout out Spinmo Racks, shout out Chris Platty, shout out Nicholas Koloff, and everybody. They had a dude on their show today, and his name was Alex Daly, and he is a what up though, Spirit of Detroit? Hostage 42 says Brad isn't stupid, but he's still a bit naive. So they had a dude named Alex Daly on their show, and Alex Daly does New York sports. And the thing that he said about the pass rush, he said that the New York Giants were known for their pass rush. Their identity was their pass rush when they were going to Super Bowls. Isn't that crazy? That your identity can be your pass rush and it could propel you to Super Bowls. And it's been the iteration. Justin Tuck, O.C. Umenura, Michael Strahan. Like, okay. So what is the reason that the Detroit Lions are trotting out Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike and Marcus Davenport? This is the question. That's all, right? When you look at the successful organizations who have won Super Bowls and who have gone to Super Bowl, that's all we need. This roster, and this is the thing why trading JMO doesn't make any sense right now. This roster is primed for going to the Super Bowl and can compete with anybody except on the defensive line. Except on the defensive line. And then you're also going to start the year with Aleem McNeil being hurt. So right now, the only person that you have to fill in for Aleem McNeil is Mr. Lopez. Are you comfortable with rolling out in Aiden Hutchinson, Roy Lopez, DJ Reader, and Marcus Davenport, who last season played a game and a half? Are we comfortable with this? I bet none of these were Lions fans 5 years ago. I've been a Lions fan since birth. I'm 42. I got snuck into the Silverdome to watch Barry Sanders play the Bengals. Been a Lions fan my entire life. Mary Smith's been a fan since the late 70s. I would have been too, but I wasn't born. All right. So you 49, I'm 42. If I've been a lifelong Lions fan, I can only be a Lions fan for the life that I've had. And I've never wavered. I've never been a fan of any other team. Right? So this is my point. The last time we were known for our defensive line was when Ndamukong Suh was here. What were they calling them? The Silver Rush. That's why your defensive line gets nicknames when you're that good, because you are disrupting the other team's flow on offense. Like, so that's why I'm saying it would be incredibly silly to pass up an opportunity, especially in a draft this deep in defensive line talent. You go and you double up on the defensive line, maybe even triple up on the defensive line, so that you can have that silver rush or whatever the case may be. Josh Pascal is getting you 1 sack in a year. Levi Onwuzurike got you 3 half sacks in 17 games. He played the entire season and gets you 3 half sacks. Not 3 and a half, 3 half. A half a sack here, a half a sack there, a half a sack there. So this is the point that I'm making. Bolster your defensive line so that you can have a great rotation and great depth in the defensive line so that you can get to the quarterback. Lamar Jackson is going to kill you if you don't get to him. Jalen Hurts is going to kill you if you don't get to him. Patrick Mahomes is going to kill you if you don't get to him. That's 3 losses if you don't fix the defensive line. If you can't get to Jordan Love, he showed the ability to beat you. I mean, I don't think that Jordan Love is a great quarterback, okay? But if you just give him all the time in the world, every quarterback looks better. You want Hutch to be able to be, look, we don't have anybody except for Marcus Davenport that can beat that can win a one-on-one. Josh Pascal can't win one-on-ones. Levi Onwuzurike is not winning one-on-ones to the degree that you would like him to win them. And that's why you're not getting sacks. Pressures are cute. You can get all the pressures that you need. And hey, a pressure might knock somebody off of their spot. A pressure might not allow a quarterback to complete a pass. A pressure might not. But you know what actually 100% does prevent passes from being completed? That to prevent quarterbacks from having all that time? Sacks. That's all I'm saying. It's funny how the Lions were the laughing stock for decades and everybody was loving it, but now that they're a good team, MS hate to see it. They hate the Lions' guts. True. 100%. So I think I've made my point, right, about the whole Jameson Williams thing. Hey, Big Will Status, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for coming through because you made the show today. You made the show today. I didn't have a whole lot to talk about. we was going to talk about Za'Darius Smith, and we were going to get into the JMO conversation. I had some other things to talk about, some rankings by Bucky Brooks and all these things. But hey, you know, you helped me. So I appreciate you, Big Wolf Status. I appreciate you sticking around. You know what I mean? Because I know Mr. Detroit City got mad and left, you know? But hey, it's sports. And at the end of the day, we all want the best for our Detroit Lions. Okay. And I don't think that trading Jameson Williams is the best thing to do right now because you're going to have to replace him. And then if you're not replacing him with defense, uh, thank you. Right. So if you're not replacing him with defense, specifically defensive line, then it's a bad trade. Right? Just like someone said earlier, well, what if you get Myles Garrett in the deal? You're not gonna get Myles Garrett in the deal, but if you got Myles Garrett in the deal, if you traded Jameson Williams for Trey Hendrickson, which again you wouldn't do because they just signed T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, so you're not getting that. If it's somebody else that's on the market that we don't know about, and he's a big time defensive line piece, okay then. I can't be mad at Brad, right? If you're trading Jameson Williams for TJ Watt straight up, which ain't gonna happen, right? Fine, I'm not mad at Brad. But if you trade Jameson Williams for a third round pick and then you use that to trade up in the first round to get to draft Matthew Golden, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because what did you just do? How did you help your team? You traded for an unknown commodity in Matthew Golden, and you didn't trade. So even a Shamar Stewart or a Mike Green or a Donovan Ezeraku could be in play at number 28. Okay, so apparently the Detroit Lions have been doing their research on speed rushers because a lot of people think that the Detroit Lions don't like speed rushers because they've got the Marcus Davenports of the world, and they've got Aiden Hutchinson, and they've always had the big guys, Josh Pascal, and things of that nature. But ear to the ground, the Detroit Lions want to get some speed off the edge. And it makes sense because you got Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes coming in here. And those are the people that, even though you're not going to play them every year, you hope to play them every year. You hope to play the Chiefs every year because that means you got a shot to go to the Super Bowl or to be in the Super Bowl, right? You hope to play the Ravens every year because that could be the Super Bowl matchup. So if you want to contend and compete with those people, you need some speed off the edge. So Donovan Ezeraku could be in play at number 28. Do not be surprised. Robertson as a trade target too. Who's that? From which team? But yeah, so if you don't get some pass rushing here, man, you know, I don't see how far you're going in the playoffs because you got to be able to get the quarterback on the ground. The corner. Oh, Amik Robertson. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Again, that I don't understand how that makes sense. I don't understand how you would trade Amik. You know, would I trade JMO and number 28 for Micah Parsons straight up? Yes. I love JMO. JMO's my guy. If you could trade him for Micah Parsons and you compare him on the opposite side of Hutch all day, you know? Hold on. Do I think Dallas would? No, I don't. Hold on. Let me send this dude a message. Um, no, I don't think Dallas would. And then the other thing is that if you traded Micah Parsons, traded for Micah Parsons, you also would have to absorb his salary. But if we're not talking about, you know, if we're not talking about the reality of the situation, if it's a fantasy trade, then yeah, you do it. Because I would be disingenuous if I sat up here and said I wouldn't make that trade. Just lay off the big defensive ends, please. Like what you mean, like the big size, like Marcus Davenport and all those people. Um, you know, if I'm being honest, I'm looking at my dream scenarios would be a Mike Green, uh, James Pierce. I love Jihad Campbell. Um, and that's because Jihad Campbell can do everything. He's a Swiss Army knife. You know, if you were able to get a Jihad Campbell right now, if you traded JMO and you got a third round pick and you use that to trade up and get a Jihad Campbell or a Mike Green or something like this, I'd be shattered that JMO was gone. I'd be really upset about it. But then we'd have Jihad Campbell or Mike Green. So, defensively, we're gonna do what we can on defense to get them off the field and to get our offense back on the field. Our offense wouldn't be as explosive, it wouldn't be as dynamic, but you're not trading him for another wide receiver. You're trading him to get better in a place where you really need to get better, and that's on defense, on the defensive line, and that can make your defense elite, right? We were top five in DVOA and all those stats and everything early on in the season before everybody got injured. But nobody thinks that the Detroit Lions were going to go into Philadelphia or have Philadelphia come here and get to Jalen Hurts the way that we needed to get to him to beat him. Oh, no big contract dudes. K ain't press wants some hot Cheetos, y'all. Uh, if we're talking about the big contracts, I'm pretty sure if they told you you got to pay Miles Garrett $50 million, um, and you're gonna lose Aiden Hutchinson after this year because you won't be able to afford to pay him, but you'll win a Super Bowl guaranteed. Would you take it? I think any player on the team, if they said we can trade you for a guaranteed Super Bowl, I don't think that there's a player on this team that's untouchable. There are players that we love, there are players that we don't want to see move elsewhere. But if you told me that I could guarantee, and I'll name some of my favorite players, I could guarantee a Super Bowl by trading Jameer Gibbs. I could guarantee a Super Bowl by trading JMO. I could guarantee a Super Bowl by trading Amon Ra. I could guarantee a Super Bowl by trading Kirby or Hutch or Brian Branch. If you told me you could do these things and guaranteed me a Super Bowl, then unfortunately I have to pull the trigger. Because that's all we want to see. We want to see a Super Bowl. Right? If you gave me a Super Bowl and then immediately went into 5 years of 0-16, I think I would take it. Or 0-17 because 5 years ago we won a Super Bowl. And every year for the next 5 years, we've got the number one overall pick. That's just the way that it is. That's what we want to see. And that's why we're all so passionate. Um, and we're fans of this football team, and we want to see the best happen. Um, all right. Any other questions? Um, oh yes, offensive off-season workouts have started. So yeah, we're gonna have more stuff to talk about. Okay. Obviously, we've got one more show before the draft. So everybody get your popcorn ready. And I will see you on the other side. All right. Appreciate y'all coming out. Appreciate being able to disagree and still keep you here. It is what it is when you can't. But Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. What's up with the draft? I'll be here. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna pop into Derek's show. I have to talk to him. I've been meaning to talk to him about it, but yeah, I know he's gonna be on with Spirit of Detroit on the first day of the draft. Uh, I want to be able to pop into his channel while still being on my channel, because obviously the draft is gonna attract a lot of people. So I want to be live during that time, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'll definitely be here. Oh, the mock draft, bro. Bro. I don't know how many people are going to do it. We might just have to pay walk the mock, but I don't know. Like all the people that were talking about doing it, they don't seem to be there anymore. Like J Rod and all those people. So I don't know. I don't know. We can try to do something. I'm working on the thing. I'm having to I'm having to try to do the free iterations, because a lot of stuff you just paying for, you're sinking money into it, and it's getting stuck on the same errors, and it's creating checkpoints, and you got to pay for it, and it's not actually giving you anything. So we'll see what happens with that, but I'll try to get something done by tomorrow. Kay might make nachos and hot wings and share it with the chat. Yeah. If we can't, if we might can it this year, but I'll try to get something done by tomorrow. Um the last iteration that I had was working great, and then once you tried to go into the all right, I got to get this last feature fixed so that we can now do the draft with friends feature, it just the entire thing just stopped working. So I don't know why. And then I reached my monthly limit, and it's already, you know what I mean. I've already put like 7,500, into it. So to not have anything, it's just really annoying. But um, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord to see if I can get anything done by tonight. But I'm gonna head out of here. Got to make some phone calls. Once again, Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.